The rise and fall of AMC, the internet's most popular stock, the most talked about stock today. AMC to a high of $77. And then today, more news coming out about the company selling shares and getting crushed down to the $42 area. Today we're talking about AMC and what is going on, why this company keeps on selling shares. Talking about it right here in this video right now. So make sure you stay tuned. What's going on, guys? Patrick here, and today we're continuing our coverage on AMC. Now, obviously, the last few days, AMC has been making moves, and I talked about this in my previous videos, how a lot of people think they got it misconstrued. They said that I thought that AMC would not go higher, that it could not go higher, but I was just being realistic to the idea that AMC is probably not going to go to, $500,000, $100,000, or even $1,000. And this is evidence of that. This is the evidence, actually, because everybody's super excited about AMC. They're going to really do this big thing. The retail traders are going to hold. But the problem is, what happens when the company continues to sell shares? And this has happened multiple times now. They sold shares to an investment firm that then dumped those shares on the market for like a $30 million profit. They could have obviously sold it for more the next day. But today, again, news coming out as the company came out saying that they were going to announce another share offering. So today, AMC Entertainment announces another stock offering, warning investors they could lose all or a substantial portion of their money. That deal is a 11.5 million shares, comes just 2 days after AMC issued 8.5 million shares. And the thing about this, guys, is let's think about it like this. All right, so I'm an investor. I'm a retail investor. I'm investing my money. I bought 100 shares. Well, now all of a sudden the company, AMC, just comes out and says, hey, we're going to just magically make more shares. We're going to just sell more shares. So the float is continuously growing. And I know people are talking about synthetic shares, they're talking about shorts and all of these things. But you really have to think about it like this. Is the company really doing what's best for shareholders by selling more and more shares? You're growing the float. You are now making it harder for this magical squeeze of synthetic shares to really happen. All these shares are just being sold out to the market, to these investment firms. The investment firms are buying it, and then they're dumping it on the retail traders. Really interesting to see how this is happening, and everybody is so about it. Everyone's so excited to support AMC, but this is what the company is doing to their hardcore daily trading investor Reddit meme stock holders. So you got to agree with me on that point. Again, I'm not here to bash anybody for buying AMC or investing or believing in AMC at this point. I'm really not. This is not the case. The case is, let's talk about how Wall Street continues to screw the retail investor by doing things like this. Like I said, just the other day, they sold 8.5 million shares. They made $230 million. Then the investment firm turned around and sold it like a day later, saying that they thought that the price of the stock was overvalued. And now I know someone in the comments said, yeah, but they could have sold it at $77 and made so much more money. And yes, I will agree with you on that. They definitely could have done that. They could have made a lot more money selling it the next day. But in general, like I said, the float, the supply, all right? So if I own, let's say I own 1,000 of these drones. I got 1,000 drones. And I figure out that, hey, I can sell these drones for $10,000 a piece. But then I sell all of my drones. I have none left. I told you in the beginning, like, hey, there's only going to be 1,000, limited edition, 1,000 of these drones, right? Only going to be 1,000 ever. Now, once I sold my 1,000, then I think, well, I can just make more and sell another 1,000, make more money. And that's exactly what AMC is doing. I know some people are going to say, yeah, but they need to do it to make money to keep the business going, and that's going to make the squeeze happen, and the company's going to go to the moon. But this is exactly what Wall Street does in the end. Wall Street always wins. Always. And I know someone's going to comment and say that, well, what about GameStop? What about all these other stocks? At the end of the day, I'm telling you, everybody, all that money that short sellers lost, these billions of dollars, do you really think those hedge funds are hurting? They're also called hedge funds for a reason. because they hedge themselves. So if they short a stock, normally they have calls. If they get long, they buy puts. They always are hedging themselves, so that way if the stock does go the opposite way than they believe, they still protect their bottom line, protect their profits. Where as a retail investor, as an everyday investor, you're not normally hedging your profits. You're not hedging your trades. You're buying long, thinking that the stock is going to go higher. So now everybody who bought up here at the $60, $70 area, the mom and pop, the Tom and Jerry, the retail investor, the everyday investor, well, now they're stuck with a 50% drop, or a little bit less than 50% drop here on their investments. So this is when it gets dangerous. This is when it becomes dangerous. And AMC actually talked about that as well. They believe that the recent volatility in their current market price reflects market and trading dynamics unrelated to their underlying business or macro or industry fundamentals. And they do not know how long these dynamics will last. Under the circumstances, they caution you against investing in Class A common stock unless you are prepared to incur the risk of losing all or a substantial amount of your investment. And I know someone's going to say, well, they had to say that. The SEC made them say that. The stock is still going to $100,000. But this is exactly what they do. The stock has hype. It's going higher. There's a lot of retail investors that are willing to buy. They want to get in on it. Well, look what happened today. They started to, again, just print more shares. Just make more shares. And like I said, guys, I'm on your side. I'm on the bull side. I want everybody on the internet to get rich. I want you guys to make millions and millions of dollars, because that way you could maybe tip me and I could make millions of dollars as well. But in general, I am just here to really just talk about what is going on with these share offerings. How you can't just keep printing shares, just keep making shares. These offerings are really bad news for a squeeze. They're really bad news for a retail investor, because the company is just printing money out of thin air by doing that, by these offerings. So the high so far, $77.50 on AMC. How much higher can it go from here? This will be the question. Really needs to hold that $37.50 area here on AMC to see if this can continue higher from here. But right now, a lot of downward pressure. And guess what? The hedge funds, the terrible, terrible hedge funds, are out for blood, and they are going hard, and they're going to be trying everything they can to get this stock down below that $30 area, because below $30, it makes it much easier to short this thing back down to the lows. So that is the story. That is what's going on with AMC. If you don't believe me, well, then don't believe me. But at the end of the day, the company is offering more and more shares, and it's something that I just don't like to see with a company that people are talking about a short squeeze happening, because now you're just issuing shares for all those short sellers to cover their positions and make money, while the retail investors end up holding the bag. So there it is, the recap. AMC, it's selling. Are you selling? Are you holding for the $1,000, $100,000, $500,000 target? Let me know down in the comments below. Do you still have faith that AMC can go to $100,000? I'll talk to you guys later on.